take some drastic steps in your life. Woo! What I do is help you to take drastic steps personally, professionally, and financially. Now, a lot of people will say to me, Toni, why drastic steps? Most speakers talk about taking baby steps. And I'm going to show you the difference. So if I'm going to take a baby step, I'm moving. I'm moving. And moving is good because it's better than being stuck. Stuck is never good. But sometimes in life, would you agree, you have to pull up the skirt and take a drastic step to turn your life around. Y'all get it? Absolutely. Don't forget to pull up the skirt first. That's important. Okay? So I live, like our previous speaker, I live what I speak. I used to weigh 240 pounds. Twice. Oh, it was so much fun, I had to do it again. So I weighed 240, lost the weight. My husband and I, my first husband, my practice husband, I love that. Did y'all like that? I practiced for 18 years, but sometimes I'm a slow learner. But anyway, we lost over 150 pounds together. We were in Ebony magazine. It was our shining moment. In fact, you can go to ebony.com and look up February 1999, and you will see the article. But then life happened, and I had taken a drastic step to move from Houston to Florida to become a financial advisor. And everything that I promised when I was recruited did not exist. And I ended up driving 36,000 miles in my car my first year. 1 year driving. So I was actually a professional driver and then a financial advisor. What do you think happened to my weight? I gained it all back because I was eating in my car. It was humiliating, mortifying. Millions of people had seen my success. I was in Ebony magazine. My only consolation was I gained the weight in Florida and I refused to come back to Texas until I figured out what to do next. And so in 2004, I took a drastic step and had gastric bypass surgery. And I've kept the weight off for 9 years. That's drastic. I'm going to talk to you about taking drastic steps with your finances. I know a lot about your finances, not only because I was a financial advisor, but because I'm a woman and I know some things about money. And so I'm going to encourage you to take a look at how you do things financially. So before we get started though, something kind of fun. Hopefully it works as technology based. Don't know how that can be. But I want you to pull out your cell phones. Now, you'll never hear another speaker say, pull out your cell phones. Everybody's like, put those things away and shut them off. But I want you to pull out your cell phone. And good for you if you have it in your purse and it's off and all of that. You guys are so good. But I want to test this to make sure it's working, first of all. And the question is, how are you feeling today? Excited? I'm ready to learn. I think I need some more coffee. Anybody? And let's get this show on the road. So what we're going to do is text to 22333. Somebody's got it already. 22333 is the phone number you're texting to. And in the body of the text, text the number of how you're feeling. And let's see what happens. It's working. Awesome. It is working. While you guys are texting, you ladies are texting your information, this is my book. Sometimes you have to take a drastic step to turn your life around. On the back is my before picture. You can't see it, but come by the booth and take a look at it. Even I don't believe it. But it's available for you today. All right, it's going. Cool. How cool is that? get to learning. The agenda today, the D in drastic, discover exactly where you are financially. R, restore your confidence by understanding your financial personality. A, apply financial strategies to achieve your financial goals. S, shift your mindset about money and how you view it. T, take quantum leaps by applying simple money tracking tactics. Invest in yourself and markets to ensure that you develop a solid financial plan. And C, create an action plan that makes positive changes in your financial situation. So, discover where you are. People say that money is not the key to happiness, but I always figured if you can have enough money, you can have a key made. Joan Rivers said that. I love, love, love that quote. Well, the first thing we should do is discover where we are financially. When I was a financial advisor, I met with a client who was a doctor, and he was on a salary, he worked for a system, and he was making $400,000 and living paycheck to paycheck. Can y'all believe it? $400,000 living paycheck to paycheck. Over $1.5 million in debt. What I couldn't figure out is how he was putting all his living expenses on a credit card and couldn't pay the credit card off. And he was making $30,000 a month. It's a mindset about money. It has nothing to do with how much money you're making. I had clients that were making $40,000 that managed their money better. The question I have for you is, which one are you? Which one are you? And so today we're going to take a look and see what we need to do as women to take control of our finances. Why? Because we have increased responsibilities. There's life-changing events that happen all around us. We have a better concept of a balancing act. Blended families, sandwich generations. We are living longer. So, is anybody's life look like this? We have increased responsibilities. Remember when our grandmothers, some of you are your mother, our grandmothers stayed at home. My grandmother used to iron sheets and underwear. Really? Please, they're lucky to get folded today. Iron, are you kidding me? But that was a different time. Now we not only have to work and we have to deal with everything and everybody at work. We have kids, we have our parents, we have social life. We just got so much going on. Not to mention we like to have a little fun every now and then, right? Statistics tell us, and a lot of statistics come from Allianz insurance company, annuity company, but they tell us that 66% of women are the chief financial officer of their household. Is that true for you? Yeah. The other statistic is that 90% of you will be solely responsible at some point in your life for your finances. And some of you are there today. If you're a single parent or a single period, you're solely responsible for your finances. I think the biggest travesty that I saw as a financial advisor is that women, although they are running more of the money, they still don't have a handle on what their husbands are doing. They don't have a clue how much money their husbands are making. Do you? Good. And spend it. No, I'm just kidding. Life-changing events. This is a picture of me and my husband on our wedding day, May 8, 2010. Great, great day. Then, another life-changing event is a catastrophic illness. Who in here knows or experienced yourself the cancer, the heart attack, the diabetes, all of that stuff? Right? I mentioned my first husband earlier, and although that marriage didn't last, and that's a whole other presentation. He died 8 months after our divorce. Diabetes, and I promise y'all, I'm not the Black Widow. Don't kill husbands. I promise I don't. But he passed away because he wasn't taking care of himself. High blood pressure and diabetes. Okay? I want this talk to motivate you to go home and have some conversations with your family. Your spouse, yourself, your children, your parents. What happens if there's a death in the family? And then a catastrophic accident, unexpected event. How is that going to affect you financially? Now, life is a balancing act. And for the sake of time, I won't demonstrate this for you, but I can do it. But we don't have time. Actually, I can do this. Not literally, but figuratively. How many of you are doing this in your life every day? Absolutely. And so we have so much that we as women have to balance to keep things semi-normal. Look at Anne. She has a son that, she's got issues and can't even stay to enjoy her conference. We have so much that we have to deal with. And so the key is that we deal with it as best we can, as effectively as we can. This is another really big deal here. So when you get the second husband, you got blended families. That's my blended family. That's 5 generations on that picture. It's awesome. But there's challenges with the blended family. Anybody know anything about challenges with you marry a man, he's got kids, he's got a mama. Lord, he's got a mama. He got big kids, he got little kids. Don't forget the ex-wife and the baby mama. Oh my goodness. Blended families bring very unique financial challenges. Okay, because you got to figure out who's going to get what if something happens to us, and you want to make sure nobody's slighted. There's a lot to think about. So are there some drastic steps that you need to take with your blended family situation? I remember counseling one of my clients whose husband had passed away, and he had not changed the beneficiary from his ex-wife. Ooh. There was nothing she could do. Nothing she could do. So my question to you is, are you the beneficiary? Do you know? Do you know? Do you really, really know? And if you don't know, you want to take a drastic step and go outside and make a phone call and say, we got to talk. Wait till my talk is over. But you need to know, because it can happen. And I see head shaking in the audience, so you've seen this happen before. Okay? Make sure you take care of your financial business. Statistically, we will live 20 years longer than our men. How many widows in the audience? Okay? All right. So what we have to do is make sure that we're going to be able to take care of ourselves if his salary is gone. Do you have the life insurance that you need to have to make sure y'all will be able to eat and that you can keep your lifestyle? If you don't, you need to talk to a planner who can get it for you. Get somebody who can get you what you need before it's too late, because the older he gets, the rounder he gets, the more it costs. So you want to make sure that you get, especially if you young women, young wives looking to get married, you buy insurance on before you marry. Okay? But you want to make sure you're taken care of. What about Social Security? Are you going to get Social Security? Do you know? Do you know? If you're a widow, you have to be 60 to get this benefit. And your benefit may be bigger than his benefit. How does that affect you? You got to know these things. If you don't know, you need to find out by working with a planner or a financial coach. You need to take control. We're in the sandwich generation. Who's in the middle of the sandwich? Yeah. So fortunately, I don't have to take care of my parent. My parent is still taking care of me. This is my mother up front here. And I actually moved in with her. She's like, "You back?" And my husband passed away. It's like, we might as well come together. She's like, ugh. No. I don't think she did that. Did you do that? But it's the sandwich generation. Then I have kids, right? I have a 24-year-old. I know y'all don't believe that because I look like I'm 29. But I have a 24-year-old and a 21-year-old that, you know, so we're caught in the middle. Then we waited to have babies. Who waited until they were in their mid-30s to have a baby? What was you thinking? So now you got to worry about college planning and retirement at the same time. And taking care of your parents, long-term care. Real serious issues that we really need to look at financially. I want to ask if that's anybody. But anyway, take control by getting out of debt. Get your spending under control. Okay? A drastic step would be to cut up a credit card. Really drastic. It's painful. Oh, God. It is painful. Anybody ever cut up a credit card and it hurt to the core? Yes, exactly. But you know what you have to do. Those are the type of drastic steps I'm talking about. Pay more than the minimum. That's the drastic step. To take extra and pay on the credit card. Do you know it might take you 30 years to pay off the credit card and paying off the minimum? So you have got to take control of your finances. Credit card bills are like the things that would not die, right? They just keep on showing up. So pay more than the minimum. And then when you pay off the account, take the money for paying on this card, add it to the next card. Then you double up on the payments and add it to the third card. That's called a debt snowball. And it gets you out of debt fast. Again, that's drastic because you really want to buy some shoes with that payment, right? So, but we're going to take a drastic step. Another drastic step is really taking an assessment. Many of us don't want to know where we are financially because we kind of know where we are financially. So we don't want to take an assessment, but I'm telling you now, before it's too late, to take an assessment. What that means is, where's your money? Bank accounts, investments, real estate. Where's your husband's money? Okay? So make sure that you figure out where you are so you can know where you're going, and don't have your eyes covered. You know, just go into it, hey, this is what it is, let's fix it from this point forward. And that's drastic. Nothing is worse as a financial advisor than talking to someone who's a year away from retirement and telling them that they cannot afford to retire because they had blinders on the whole time. They just couldn't cover their basic living expenses. They bought a house late, and most of us aren't staying in our houses 30 years anymore, so we're going to carry a mortgage and mortgage and mortgage. So do you know, if you're 5 years from retirement, you haven't met with a financial planner, today is the day you have got to schedule the appointment. Because you might have some wiggle room within 5 years. Within 1 year, there's nothing you can do but keep on working. So I hope I'm motivating you to go talk to some financial advisors. I see we got a vendor out there. I brought my advisor, Joe, raise your hand in the back. I want you guys to meet somebody who can help you. Restore your confidence. Money is better than poverty, if only for financial reasons. So understand your financial personality. Who are you financially? This comes from the Women, Money, and Power presentation that Allianz put together. So there are 5 personality types: an initiator, financial analyzer, a financial collaborator, a financial avoider, and a financial dreamer. Which one are you? Pay close attention because we're going to use our cell phones to tell me who you are. Number one, financial initiator is self-assured, empowered, and optimistic. She is clear about her financial goals and how she's going to achieve them, and she probably works with a financial professional. So you will hear this woman say, my financial advisor told me that I need to put more money in my retirement plan. That's the conversation that you'll hear from a financial initiator. Is that you? The financial analyzer has a good understanding of her household finances, thoroughly researches investment opportunities, and tracks financial results. She's a comparison shopper, she's a saver, and she rarely purchases something she can't afford. She's worked with a financial professional either now or in the past. So she's the one that will come up to you and say, you know they're having a sale, and I only shop, I go to the clearance rack first, and I only shop on sale days. That's what she would say to you. Is that you? Then you have a financial collaborator. They're typically in a healthy, happy, cooperative relationship. They provide family financial comfort and stability. They share equally in financial decisions with their partner, including going to the meeting together with the financial professional. Are you in a collaborative relationship? The financial avoider, that's the person, ears, eyes, overwhelmed by all the financial choices. She avoids taking those steps to resolve financial problems due to a lack of financial knowledge. She knows that she would benefit from seeking the help of a financial professional, but she has trouble taking that first step. And lastly is the dreamer. She's intimidated by money and investing. She feels hopeless. She hopes someone will take care of her financial problems, like her family. And she defers all financial matters to her partner, and if she doesn't have one, she does nothing about it. Okay? This is the one that tells me when we're sitting together, at least she took the initiative to come, but when I ask them what's going to happen in their retirement, she'll say, my kids will take care of me. Really? Did you ask them? Do you want that? What if they live in a cold climate and you don't want to live there? Right? Because kids aren't staying home anymore. My daughter lives in Florida and she's 21. So I've got to move to Florida if I want her to take care of me. What if your child is married to the devil and you don't want to deal with him? You got to think about these things. Being financially fit will make you ready to have to avoid situations you don't want to be in. So, let's see, which one are you? Yeah, just start a new text or pull up the last text. It should, like mine's already on text, so I just put the number of the code I want. All right. Collaborator, avoider. How cool is this? Well, we only have 5% of the room that thinks they're the initiator. That's the one that at the party is talking about what their financial advisor told them to do. Okay, we got one more. This time it's counting how many positions. So I've got 96 people who entered. All right, so wherever you are, did you get the message of what you need to do? If you're one of the bottom two, you need to run. Not walk, take a drastic step towards a financial planner or a financial coach. And I'll explain the difference later. How cool is that, right? Most of you are feeling pretty good as an analyzer or a collaborator. Very good, but you're still going to need the help of a financial professional to sort things out. Okay, we're going to go to the next one. All right, apply financial strategies to achieve your financial goals. Money often costs too much. What does that mean? You have to pay for money? Do you? Yes. How? By going to a professional, putting some time in, finding all the paperwork, doing some extra things outside your comfort zone to increase your financial gain. So the first thing you have to do is protect yourself. Protect yourself is very important. Do you have disability insurance? If you were to get in a car accident today, who would pay your bills? You know? If you have disability, you have short-term and long-term for your job, which is great. When my husband got sick, I was able to walk away from my financial practice because he had disability insurance, and I was able to stay at home and take care of him. If he didn't, I would have had to work and manage his health. So what happens if your husband can't work anymore? Do you have the insurances? If you're self-employed entrepreneur, do you have disability insurance that is going to take care of you? So make sure you protect yourself. Save more and spend less. Are you putting money into your 401k, 403b, 457 plan? Are you maxing it? How about a Roth IRA? Or Roth 401k or Roth 403b? Did you know they even had those? Okay? Are you saving in those? And if so, are you saving aggressively? The easiest way to save is by taking money out of your paycheck and setting it aside. So I encourage you, if you are not putting money in your 403b or 457, start today. Please. Even if it's a nominal amount, just get started. Because when you get the statements and you see it growing, you will increase your contribution. And it saves you on your taxes. Work with a financial advisor. Even though I'm no longer an advisor, I still believe in the power of working with an advisor. Now, I used to think before I became an advisor, I had to have a whole pile of money to work with an advisor. Anybody still believe that? Yeah, exactly, but you don't. Advisors want to talk to you, just getting started. Just get started, putting money in a mutual fund, a Roth IRA, some sort of plan. But an advisor can see, advisor and a coach can see what you can't. They know what you don't. They know about the time value of money. They know how important it is to get you started. There's products out there that offer you guarantees. You may or may not have access to unless you go to a financial advisor. And all you advisors out there can pay me later. But I still believe it's very important to work with an advisor. You want to shift your mindset about money. Now this is where it all starts. It starts in our head. So if you realize how powerful your thoughts are, you would never think a negative thought. Our thoughts control our entire being. So we're going to start thinking positively about our money. What are some of our beliefs about money in our society? You see, the cousin says money is the root of all evil, and every woman needs the root. So, fundamentally, some of us believe that having money is evil. There's something bad about having money. Where did that come from? Say that again. Misquoting the Bible. The Bible says the love of money is the root of evil. What does that mean? That means that if you are spending all your time working on financial gain and neglecting your spirituality, that's what's evil about it. But we got to have money. We got to eat. We got to have a house. We got to have a roof over our head. Some things we don't have to have that we have, and so we should get those things in check. But money in itself is not evil, and we should give that up. In fact, the more you have, the more you can give, right? But if you don't have a lot, what makes you evil is you're hoarding. You're holding on. And you're not able to share and give, right? So let's give up the notion that money in itself is evil. It's the striving after and the neglect of our spiritual gifts or our spiritual life. People with money are deceptive. We kind of in the back of our minds sometimes think if you have a lot of money, you must have cheated somebody, did something wrong. And we kind of think they got, fingers crossed behind their back kind of thing. And probably we know somebody who has experienced that. But the truth is there are very good people with money. They're just hardworking and they went after it. And they have balance. The key word here is balance. Can you be balanced? So, people with money don't necessarily mean they're deceptive. That doesn't mean that if you get money, you're deceptive. Because see, what happens is these thought processes keep us from moving forward because we have this mindset about money. And I'm telling you today, if we can give up some of these mindsets, it will help to change the direction we're going financially. Talking about money is wrong. Now, how many of you have talked to your parents about their money situation? Good. Great. Was that an easy conversation to have? Not at all, because you probably think that they think you're ready for them to go, or how much are you going to get out of these situations? But I'm telling you now that it's critical that you have conversations now with your parents, even if there's no need right now. Because on the turn of a dime, there can be a need tomorrow. So start having conversations with your responsible siblings about money. Now, how many of you talk to your children about your money? Good. Very good. Excellent. But most of the hands were not up. Our children have no concept of money and how money really works. And we can tell because they always have their hand out. Right? Just slap that hand next time you put it up. Okay? We have to start talking to our children about the concept of money and how budgeting. Have you done a budget with your teenage kids yet? Show them the real world about their mortgage, what mortgages cost, what it costs to eat, what it costs to fill up a gas tank. They don't get it. So now is the time to have those conversations so they're not in financial trouble or a financial dreamer. Right? Start talking about our money. Take quantum leaps by applying simple financial topics. Tactics, sorry. If you want to be financially free, you need to become a different person than you are today and let go of whatever has held you back in the past. Robert Kiyosaki. So, budgeting. Do you have one? Do you keep it? Is it written or is it in your head? I figure that all the time. I know how much I make and I know how much I spend, but they had no idea until I made them start tracking their money. So do you have a budget? Do you keep one? Again, I encourage you now, sit down with your teenage kids and help them to understand what it costs to live. My daughter's going through that exact same thing right now. She's trying to move out on her own. She lives with a friend now. She wants to move out on her own. She had no clue. And I'm telling her, I sat down, but they don't get it till they hit it. So make sure that you are talking budget, living budget, and teaching budget. Track your spending. Because check registers have gone out, because we don't write many checks anymore, we just swipe them on card, we don't track our spending anymore. Remember the time you used to open the check register and not leave the line until that was recorded? Y'all remember that? No, do you do it now? No. This is an Excel spreadsheet. All you have to do is go to Microsoft.com, put in their search, check register, and a couple of Excel spreadsheets that will help you track your money will show up. Okay, so start tracking your money. And what I do is just log into my online account, and then I just transfer it over to the Excel. I manually type it in. You can probably download it and import it and all that. I just manually type it in. I'm not spending that much that fast. Okay? But at the end of the year, you can actually see how much you spent in different categories. Add a column that says categories, and then if it's food, put food. Gas, my problem is beauty supply, put beauty supply. You can see at the end how much you spent in those categories, and that will help you to control your spending as well. Have an earnings plan B. This is a drastic step. Most of us have jobs, right? We get a paycheck. What happens when you lose that job? Anybody ever lost a job? Right. Did you have an earnings plan B? Were you doing something on the side? Did you have a home-based business? Maybe you should consider that. You'll also get some tax write-offs that not everybody gets if you start a business. So if you have a passion for jewelry, maybe you should do jewelry, purses, instead of buying them, sell them. Make some money off of them. Then the ones you buy and use are tax write-offs. See how that works? So have an earnings plan B. If you lost your job today, how would your bills keep going month to month? How would you make it? So that's a drastic step. But I encourage you, from my own experience, to get that. The I, invest in yourself in markets to ensure and develop a solid financial plan. Make all you can, save all you can, give all you can. Don't be afraid to invest. Historically, women are so conservative when it comes to investing. Just put my money in a savings or a fixed account. I would hear it all the time. Then it was time for them to retire. There was not enough money there. Diversity still is the key. Having your money in different baskets. But as I mentioned earlier, there are products out there that have guarantees that if the market falls, you won't lose any money. The financial advisors can tell you about that. It does exist. And so my point is, though, don't be too conservative because you can't make it up on the back end. You cannot make it up on the back end. So you want to be, not be afraid to invest and diversify your investments. Invest in yourself. As she read my bio, Nelda read my bio, I just got my degree in October, October of last year. What happened was I lost my job, and I found myself looking for a job. I had been in training, and I found myself looking for a six-figure income with no degree. Really? Yeah, that doesn't work. In case y'all didn't know, that doesn't work. So I got a call one day from a counselor at the University of Phoenix, and she said, "Have you thought about going to school?" I said, no. I'm good. And she said, "Really? Well, why were you on the job board?" So I told her I lost my job. I was looking for this dollar amount income. And she said, "Well, call me back if that doesn't work for me." Well, needless to say, I had to give her a call. But in 2009, I took a drastic step, 25 years after graduating from high school, and started college. So, do you need to get more education? Do you need to go to school? By the way, it was a great experience, and I ended up being the commencement speaker. Invest in yourself. If it's not college, what is it that will just help give you a skill you need to go to another level? A financial coach is someone that you may not be ready to invest, but you just want to take the assessment, you want some advice. That's what a financial coach will do for you. A financial advisor is for someone when you're ready to start investing, even if it's a small investment, but you're ready to get into some sort of investment. Even a 403B, 457, IRA, 403B, etc. But a financial coach is you're not just quite ready. You want to pay off some debt. You want to see if you can get interest rates lower and how that would affect you, those type of things. So hire a coach. Create an action plan that can make positive changes in your financial situation. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not to put this plan into action. So take action now. Don't wait. Know where you are and where you want to be financially. Apply financial strategies to achieve your goals. Change your mindset about your money. Keep investing in yourself and work with a financial coach or a planner. So a final thought. This is me and my husband on our first anniversary. You know, ours was truly a story of love, admiration, and sacrifice, and it was not easy. We got married on May 8th, and our first chemo was May 11th. And I say ours because I went through it too. And he used to tell me all the time, I just love you too much. And I used to always say, you just say that because you're acting silly. But from the beginning, Robert opened his finances to me. He wanted me to know what he had and what he didn't have, where his money was going, and what he had for emergencies. And unfortunately, because he already had cancer, he was uninsurable. So during this relationship, I actually learned a lot about money. I was already a financial advisor, and I had more to learn. I learned about Social Security, disability, pensions, things that really became real world to me. The blessing is I wasn't caught off guard. I knew what I was dealing with. He didn't have much life insurance, and what he had was left over from his job. And by the way, if you're in the TRS system, when you retire, you're at 2 or 3 times your salary for life insurance. Your salary then becomes your pension salary, and it's 2 or 3 times your pension amount when you carry over your life insurance. And I know a lot of you are TRS employees, so know that. On November 1st, Robert made his transition. Now, I brought this with me. This is an urn. Have any of you ever seen cremated ashes? Yeah, very few people know. This is my first time. And I'm going to tell you, it is very surreal. My husband was a collegiate bowling coach at Texas Southern University, and he was the most winningest coach they ever had. He won 6 championships. It was in women's bowling, though, so not a lot of people heard about it. Robert was very much, he touched so many women, and he put them through school, dozens of women. He had a rich, rich life. The biggest lesson I learned in all this is that when it all is said and done, that a lot of things, including money, doesn't matter. You know, Robert did a really good job of taking care of the people. People loved him. When he died, there was over 600 people at his funeral. It was amazing. But when you look at all of it, it comes down to what have you done for people and for your God. So the next time that you're arguing over money, lost a relationship because somebody didn't pay you back. My mom always said, don't give it, because people, if you give it, don't expect to see it back. Don't fight with anybody because they didn't pay you back, because your blessing came from a different direction. You just were too busy asking for the money over here to recognize it came from here. So don't fight with people over money, because when all is said and done, does it matter? Now, it doesn't negate everything that I've said. Everything I said is very important. We have to leave a legacy. We have to take care of ourselves while we're alive. We We must take care of our financial situation. But the bottom line is, pick your battles wisely and take a drastic step to make sure that your money, financial situation is cared for. So, to recap, have you changed your mind about money? Do you want to know where you are financially? Are you now confident who you are with your financial personality? Does that drive you to want to do something different in your finances? You want to take some leaps and apply simple, like the check register, tracking techniques, and invest in yourself. Create an action plan. If you can't do it by yourself, get a coach, get an advisor to help you. My formula for success, DS plus P minus E equals S. That stands for drastic steps plus perseverance minus excuses equals success. Now is the time to take a drastic step. Persevere over the obstacles, eliminate the excuses, and achieve success today. This is Toni Harris, the Turnaround Queen, saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. Thank you.
Well, the speech I found to be very thought-provoking. As you mentioned, one of the things about how we need to, for our children, we need to start working with them on their budget and so forth. And that's one of the things that I have already started with my child. And then the last thought was I found to be the most amazing is that even though we do have to take financial responsibility and be accountable for our finances and plan and be prepared, I thought there was a great point to end on that. It's not all about the money. It's about the lives that you touch, the legacy that you leave, the people that you help, and that too often we lose track and focus on trying to be financially prepared, that we forget that we still have to love one another, influence one another, and empower each other.
I think it was really helpful coming straight out of law school and just getting into the workforce. I hadn't really taken the time to think about investing and planning out my financial future, and it was a good kickstart.
Well, Toni, it was very, very inspiring to all the ladies here. She's a great presenter, and she really brought the importance to what it takes to be responsible with your money, be accountable with your money. It's something that we don't think about a lot of the times in our daily lives, but with her coaching, I felt that it was an extremely inspiring speech.
Let me tell you, as I just let Miss Toni know that she gave me a drink of water, and a lot of Christian people will understand what that means. I am very inspired and encouraged to continue in my process. As she did, I am too, going back to school, and she just inspired me to continue to believe and to go forward. I'm blessed, and I can't wait to read the book because I'm motivated to keep on going and to also get my finances together.